I know some of y'all may not see it like this. I know some of y'all may not view it like this. I've seen many comments, right? Many different videos, over the years. Yeah, feminism is cancer. Feminism is, a detriment to society, right? Feminism is ruining society. Feminism is doing this and doing that, is ruining men, and so on and so forth, right? I think, well, that may be true in some senses, but I believe feminism has freed men. I believe feminism had to be God's gift to man. Let me explain, right? Let me explain. Before, right, men had to go to work, right? Men had to go out and bust their ass and deal with nonsense and, go to wars and all of this, right? They couldn't really quit. They couldn't really leave their job because they had family members, they had family to look out for, right? They had wives to look after, right? They were paying all the bills, right? She wanted her nails done, got to do that. Groceries, got to do that. The baby need formula, got to do that. Want to go on vacation, got to do that, right? So in a sense, when you really think about it, throughout history, men have been slaves to women. Yes, sir. Men, for the longest, have been slaves to women, and still is, to a certain degree today. We still seeing the bull crap. We're still seeing how the judicial system is basically anti-man, right? The judicial system was created to look after women, right? The judicial system is still right in this 1930s, 40s mindset, and they haven't caught up to modern day times. So to a degree, you know, we're still living in that time where men are basically slaves to modern day women, right? And let's just go back to history. So men throughout time, they did everything for women. Everything that a man put on, right, was for women. Everything that a man bought, because most of the times men didn't buy things for themselves, right? Men usually, denied themselves pleasure to please their families. Everything that men usually did, it was linked to their family's happiness, right? Their sons and daughters' happiness, right? They wanted to see everybody have a smile on their face, right? They wanted to see their wives happy. They wanted to see everybody around them happy. That's what men went to work for. That's why men went out here and worked so hard. That's why men died early deaths, just to see smiles on our women's faces, just to see everybody happy and getting what they want. We couldn't wait for Christmas just to see the Christmas tree filled with presents and knowing that you worked hard, you put in blood, sweat, and tears, dealt with a pussy ass boss who don't like you, right? And you still made it happen. Despite you being unhappy, because best believe a lot of men were unhappy. A lot of men were unhappy. A lot of men are still unhappy, but now you are liberated, my friend. You are liberated. Imagine, imagine a world where women don't depend on you. hmm. Imagine a world where you don't have to provide for women anymore. Imagine a world where marriage is not, you know, held to the highest esteem. And now when people, see single men traveling by themselves, going out by themselves, people don't bat an eye, right? Imagine a world now where you're just free. Feminism has freed men. But men men are still stuck in this 1940s mindset. See, a lot of women have moved on, right? I know they like to claim, like, I want a man to do this, I want a man to do that, and blase, he got to pay 100% of the bills and all that. Listen, that's just what they want to put on for, right? They want to be independent and they want a man to provide. Listen, that's just how they want it, right? That's just how they want it. And many of the times, women get their way. They still have their independence, and they have a man or two or three paying for their nails, paying for their hair, putting gas in their tank, taking them out on dates. So a lot of women out here, they're having the best of both worlds. They're having the best of both worlds. So why can't you get out here and live your best life? Women are they're light years ahead. They're light years ahead of most men. I told y'all this. Most women are light years ahead. They've already adapted. Many of the women have already adapted. They've adapted to the new world. They've adapted to the new economy. Women are going to continue to adapt. Why? Because women are not usually the ones who got to get out here and hunt. Women are not usually the ones who have to get out here and gain resources. Usually, women are not the ones who got to get out here and protect. Now the game is changing. The game is changing. Women now are understanding that, hey, I got to do for self. Hey, I got to get out here and get this paper myself. I can't depend on no man. And most of these women are not dependent on man. And that right there, that is what is killing a lot of men. It's killing a lot of men because they can't fathom the fact that we now live in a society where we don't need men. And you could bring up the argument of, oh well, the construction workers are still men, the firefighters are still men, the police officers are still men, the road builders are still men. Let me ask you something. When have you seen a chick say she wanted a mother freaking construction worker? When have you seen a woman say, hey, I'm looking for a police officer to marry? When in the hell have you seen a chick say, I'm looking for a goddamn road builder to marry? You ain't seen that. So why the hell y'all keep bringing that up? Like nobody give a damn about these blue collar workers. Nobody give a damn about no dang on police officer, construction worker, road builder, plumber. Nobody care about this shit. Right? And despite, some of those industries making some great money, however, that's not what women want. So they don't care about those guys, right? They want status, right? They want status. They want the CEOs, they want the entrepreneur, right? The business owner, right? They want the attorneys, they want the engineers, the software developers, right? They don't want no dang on guy who work at damn Firestone. They don't want no damn guy who, laying down pipe, right? Pipe in a road, pause, no diddy. Right? No, nobody, chicks don't want that. Right? So you have to take advantage of chicks not wanting that. If you're in these industries or if you're in a job where chicks are not checking for you, take advantage of it. You're free, my friend. You're free. You don't have chicks throwing themselves at you for a variety of different reasons. You don't have chicks throwing themselves at you. You're not in a position that maybe you don't even desire to be in. You're free. Now you can just focus on yourself. You don't have to focus on building a family. You don't have to focus on providing for a family. You don't have to focus on, dang, I gotta get this job. I need a promotion because I got 2 kids and I got a wife at home. She don't work, right? You don't have to worry about those kind of things anymore. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. Because in this economy, bro, a lot of people ain't gonna make it. And a lot of people trying to still start, they're trying to start families when the finances ain't right, right? The job situation ain't right, the living situation ain't right. No, you're free. Use this time to stack your money. Use this time to learn skills. Use this time to build a foundation. Use this time to study and learn what is to come. To study and learn the new world, to study and learn the new woman. Because this is not the same woman from 10 years ago. This is not the same woman for 15 years ago, and damn sure not the same woman from 50 years ago. Take the time out to study women. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Right? Downloading these dating apps, taking these chicks on dates, wasting money, and you not even clapping cheeks after. You're free. You're free. Let women continue to think how they want to think. Listen, I'm not in the business of changing minds. I'm not in the business of trying to convince people what it is and what it ain't. I'm not in that business. I'm in the business of telling it how it is. I'm in the business of looking for the facts, presenting the facts, and letting the public decide what they want to do with that. Everybody can't handle the facts. Everybody can't handle the truth. That's why a lot of men are in the predicament that they're in now. Right? They're afraid, for whatever reason, to accept the truth. They still wanna simp, right? They still wanna try to get out here and find a wife. Even despite the laws not being in your favor, the women not being in your favor, hell, you're not even in your favor because most of you are not even where you want to be in life. Y'all just want to get out here and think you're just gonna find a nice, wholesome woman. Listen, bro, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. More than likely, you're gonna find, and I said this before, more than likely you're gonna find a ran through smut who decided to give her life over to the Lord after 100 bodies. And the Lord, Jesus came for the sinner, so I'm not even getting on her about that. God bless you. God bless you, woman. God bless you. But I'm just telling you what it is and what it ain't. And just because she gave her life over to the Lord don't mean that those experiences changed. Just because she's now a changed woman don't mean that those bodies just disappear. Just because she's a changed woman don't mean that she is now bonded with all of those men that she let enter her all these years. Right? That don't change a thing. See, a lot of y'all still stuck on hope. I don't know why y'all still stuck on hope. Feminism has freed you. Go be free. Go be free. Go be free, my friend. Especially for you guys who you have no kids, you have nothing holding you back. You have no nagging wife, you have no, ungrateful girlfriend, right? You have none of those things and you just sitting back and I want a girlfriend. I want a wife. Right? And those are the guys who usually end up fucking themselves over. Those are the guys, the desperate, lonely guys who can't snap themselves out of it. Those are the guys who are usually stuck on stupid. Those are the guys who are usually they get stuck in this blue pill mindset. They get stuck in this delusional mindset because they're so desperate for a woman to love them. They're so desperate for affection. They're so desperate for this. They're so desperate for that. They're so desperate for a woman to touch them. Right? Curiosity killed the cat. Yes, it did. Right? And the information is out here. The knowledge is out here. Everything that you need, everything that you're wondering, everything that you're curious about, the information is out here. Right? And if you're getting the information, you're getting the knowledge, and you're still in denial, where what it's no helping you. There's no helping you. And I said, but I believe that there's no helping most men. Because men, unfortunately, they still can't, for some reason, in mass, men can't see themselves without women. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. I get it. Right? Have something around, but you gotta move cold out here, gentlemen. You gotta move cold out here because this is not the same game. See, a lot of our fathers, right? They taught us the game, but they didn't teach us the game for today. Right? A lot of the women, they've been the same. Women have been the same since the beginning of time. But there were laws and societal norms and culture that put women in a chokehold. They put chains around women. Feminism has cut those chains. Feminism has removed those chains. So what happens when chains are removed? Well, now you get to see women for who they truly are in their essence. Now you get to see a woman's nature in full effect. See, before you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. Mm-mm. Before social media, before all of that, see, a lot of men they couldn't see a woman's nature for what it is. They couldn't see it. Once upon a time, that nice beautiful small town girl, she married the small town firefighter. They went to middle school together. They went to high school together. Right? They end up having 2 kids together. Bought a house in the same town they grew up in. Lived a nice middle class life. Grew old together. Raised fine children to go off to college, pay for the college off of his pension, and happily ever after. It's not like that no more. Now, because of feminism, right? And feminism has even affected even women who don't even necessarily believe in feminism, right? Just feminism infiltration in society have changed the mindset of women, even your most conservative women. To some extent, they are still intertwined in some form of fashion of that feminism mindset, that feminism ideology. Your most conservative women, they're not even the most conservative women. Your most conservative women they still have a past. They still got ran through. They still had their fun. They still had their girls' trips. Right? They still lost their virginity in middle school and high school. They still got trains ran on them. Listen, feminism has infiltrated every aspect of society. And men need to wake up and smell the coffee because we're seeing still so many men, young and old, unfortunately, old men are still learning lessons. Especially older men, they're still holding on to what it used to be. They're still holding on to what it used to be, and it's not what it used to be anymore. I'm sorry. Older guys, it's not what it used to be anymore. And the younger guys, oh my, I believe the younger guys have it worse, because at least some of the older guys, they lived and had some experiences, and at least they got some of their finances in order. They lived a little, right? But the younger guys, man, they don't know which way to turn. They've been raised on feminism. They've been raised on pedestalizing women. They've been raised on worshiping women. They've been raised on OnlyFans. They've been raised on Instagram, where these platforms are women dominated. They're women dominated. And also, this generation, the newer generation, the younger guys, also raised on, pornography. Right? Because they're not getting laid, they're not getting sex. Most of these guys, they're not getting dates. Women are not checking for them. We already know a lot of these younger chicks, they're getting with the older guys because they got the resources, they got the money. Listen, we already know this. Feminism has freed you. Feminism has freed your mind if you have the knowledge, if you get out here and search for it. Feminism has freed the man's mind. Feminism has freed the man's spirit. Feminism has freed you. And this is how you have to look at it. You can't look at it like, and I'm not saying that there aren't truths to feminism being, some in form of fashion, a cancer to society and destroying society, because that ideology has destroyed the family. That ideology is destroying families. That ideology is fracturing families. And this ideology has been, this is not the second or third wave of feminism. Like, there have been different waves of feminism. This is new age feminism. Feminism has been going on since what, the 50s, 60s? I think maybe earlier than that. Feminism has been going on, and that is the reason why we've seen the increase in divorces over time in the West and in America. And we can trace that. We can trace that incline of divorces, right? We can trace that incline with divorces with the incline of the feminism ideology, or the spread of that feminist ideology, right? More than half of people get divorces within their first 5 years. I believe those are the numbers, but most people get divorced. How about that? America has one of the highest divorce rates. Why is that? You can trace that to feminism. You can trace that to women not wanting to be traditional women. You can trace that back to women not being the same. You can trace that to women now having more options. Women now have more options. Women now have the option to sleep with whoever they want. Women now have the option to abort a baby. Women now have the option to deal with this man who work at Firestone versus the man who works at Blackstone, whatever the name of the company is. She now has the option to marry a mechanic or marry a doctor, right? And just that option alone, even if, because all the women are trying to get the doctor, all the women are trying to get the CEO, even if they can't get that CEO, even if they can't get that doctor, just the delusion of possibly getting that man, they're gonna keep chasing that man. They're gonna keep chasing those type of men to their grave. And that's why we're seeing 30, 40, 50-year-old women still out here talking about some, I don't want no 50-50. I want a man who pays 100% of the bills. He got to do this and he got to do that. That's why we're seeing older women who should have been scooped up in their 20s spewing the same crap that the 20-year-olds are spewing. But at least the 20-year-olds, they're in their youth and understand that their youth is the prize. And if that man wants that prize, then he got to come with the other prize. Right? It has freed you. You have the information. You have the knowledge. Because not everybody came into this knowledge soon enough. Some men are coming into it way too late. I've made certain decisions I made certain decisions before I had the knowledge that I have now. I made certain decisions before I started this YouTube channel. I made certain decisions before I created a channel to help men and to uh, deliver men and to free men from this bondage of modern day society. I've made mistakes, and luckily I made them young. So at least by the time I'm 40, right? At least by the time I'm 40, you know, I'll have time to start over, right? I'll have time to start over. If shit hit the fan right now, I have time to start over. But if you're an older man and you're just now getting hit over the head, feel bad for you. So I want you guys to look at it as just a new way of thinking. I want you to look at it as the Great Awakening, right? Feminism, as destructive of a mindset it is, as of a ridiculous mindset that it is here. And it's not going back. We're not going back in time. It is here to stay. Women are going to continue to pass off this ideology. Women are going to continue to spread this ideology. And no matter if they're full-blown feminist or they just believe in certain, you know, uh, independencies, if that's a word, it doesn't matter. All women in the West, especially, and now spreading to the rest of the world, all women in some form of fashion, they believe in some form of fashion of this feminist ideology, and there's no stopping it. So it has freed you, especially if you're younger, middle age, whatever, and you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to stack up money. You're trying to decide whether you even want to stay in the States or on the West. Maybe you want to go overseas and live a more fruitful and cheaper life, right? A more effective cost of living lifestyle. Right? Now it's the time to decide because feminism has freed you. Let those women do what they want to do. Let them do what they want to with their body. Don't stop them. Don't try to. I remember I used to try to convince women when I first came into this, right? When I first came into this space, I'm trying to argue with women. I was trying to, no, you can't do that. And no, that's not, you need to get married. Yeah, you're gonna waste your good years. You're gonna waste your good years, and then when you get 30, you're gonna be mad and you're gonna be trying to find a good man, and you should have found a good man when you're 20s. Yeah, I was that guy trying to go back and forth with chicks. I was even going back and forth with men. Y'all will be surprised the amount of men out here who have also taking on that feminist ideology as well. Y'all will be surprised. And I would say a lot of men, I would say it's probably equal. A lot of men have taken on that feminist ideology. Listen, there's no stopping it. So I used to be the guy who tried to convince people. I stopped doing that because I'm not here to save the world. I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. I'm here to present the facts, and you do what you will with that. And if you choose to do this, go ahead. If you choose to do that, go ahead. Listen, I'm not here to stop you. And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.